Good day guys, welcome to my channel. In this video today I'm going to show you how to send AutoCAD command to draw a beam section from Excel. In our previous video I showed you how to draw a simple rectangle, and in this video today I will just complete the code to add a rebar section. This is a simple example. This is a simple section with simple beam section with top bar, with top and bottom rebars and the middle rebars, and these are the information. Here we got the number of top bars and the size, the number of the bottom bar and the size, and the middle bar and the size, and we also got the concrete cover. And then to draw this section you don't have to press. I got AutoCAD open. AutoCAD open is empty, so to draw this section in AutoCAD I will just press draw and our section will be drawn. This is our section. As you can see, we got 3 top bars and 3 bottom bars, and we got 1 rebar in each side, so we got 2 bars in and then you can change the size of your beam. If I put here 250 and put I'll call it 600, and we can change it to 4, and we can change it to 16 if you want to 16, or you can leave it 20. Let's leave it 20, and we can put it empty, and we can change our clear cover to 30. Let's delete what we had previously. This is what we had previously, so if you are redraw, I just press redraw button, we will have a new. Here's a new. As you can see, we got 3 and 4. If you go back to our drawing, we got bottom bar, we got 3 y20, the size is 20 millimeters, and we got top bar 4. That's it. I will show you now from scratch how I did this, and then you can change it. I will release it with all the code. You can download it in the description. You can change it the way you want it, and it's up to you. So this is just illustration purpose, and you can change it for your specification and whatever you want. So we are going to go from scratch from this workbook. This button will not draw anything, so if you had to click, let's erase it, go back to our new. So if you click on this, it will only draw the rectangle. As I said, you see, it's only draw the rectangle. This as per our previous exercise. Now I'm going to allow it to draw this beam section with stirrup and the bar section. Let's get started. Let's go to our code. So this is our previous code. Now we just have to do some changes. We need to add some few more code to allow this program to draw the complete beam section as I demonstrated earlier. And to do so, we are going to declare our variable to hold this information here. In the previous section we had this value already. You got this value. Now I will declare a variable to hold this input. Go back to our code. The number of Now after we have declared all our variables, now the first thing we need to do, we need to create the offset. We need to create this stirrup, and to do that I'm going to create the offset of our initial rectangle. Let's create an offset of our initial rectangle. For that I'm going to use one of our variable we declared earlier, offset rectangle, which will be our initial rectangle. One of these property is offset, and the argument I must pass in here, it will be the offset distance, which will be the concrete cover. The clear is a clear cover. But if you leave it this way, you're going to offset it positively, which will be so it will offset it from outside. It will offset it from outside, so which means it will increase our rectangle, but I want it to offset it inward. I want it to offset it inward. So what is going to do that, I'll make this negative numbers. So this is our new, if you are ready now, it will create an offset of our initial rectangle. But now, because I need to increase the width of that link of our stirrup, I need to pass it to an object. So I will set stirrup is equal to, now since it's not an object, I'm going to increase the width of this. I will set the width. Now this is done. Oh, we need now to hold we didn't read our input. So the cover, currently the cover, this value is 0 because we didn't assign anything to it. Let's read our value. The cover will be, I'm going to read it from the worksheet. Let's go back. Our cover, let's read it from here. This is our cover. The clear cover is F14. Now let's proceed with our code. I've created the stirrup. We did increase the width. Now we need to add the rebar section. Let's start with at the bottom with the bottom rebar. Yep, it's our bottom rebar. Now first thing to do is let's calculate the spacing between the rebar. Let's use our variable to hold the spacing. This will be you guys all know how to calculate the spacing. Basically, what I want the space between these two bars, this from here to here and from here to here, center to center, centers to center. I need to calculate that distance. To do that, because it won't be a static number figure, so we can assign it. So the program was calculated based on the number of the rebar, the number of bar. So to do that, let's use active sheet. Let's get our the beam, the width of the beam. So because it will be based on that, this width of the beam. Now we need to remove minus the cover, the clear cover on both sides, and minus a bar. And because we increase the width, because of this width, so I must also consider the width of that line. And all this now divide by the number of top bar. So this, with this we have our spacing. We have our spacing. We will try later and see how it works, but it should work fine. Once we got this is our spacing. Now let's add to draw the rebar section at the top, at the bottom. Sorry, I'm going to use a for loop. I'm going to use, a for loop will assist us to do repeating actions depending. So to do that, I'm going to use a for loop as a set for I equal to 1 to the number of bottom bars next I. So this is how you set up a for loop. This means for 1 to number of top bar, because we need to draw to add 1 cycle, 2 cycle, and 3 cycle. So I'm going to repeat the action 3 times depending on the number of bars. So all the action in this portion will be done 3 times. To add our cycle. To add our cycle for the first rebar, we won't use our spacing we calculated, but from the second one, we are going to use our spacing. So I need to set up an if condition here. If I equal to 1, then else and if. So we need to use some if condition. And this is the first section, the first rebar section. Let's jump to, so it means that now if I is bigger than 1, then jump to this second portion. And now we need to add our spacing, because from the first rebar section to the second, there's a spacing we calculated earlier. Only on the x coordinate, the y coordinate stay the same. The y coordinate will stay the same, and because the y coordinate will stay the same, and then if I leave it this way, it will add. It is going to add the reverse on the same place. To change it based on the, how can I put it? I want to vary it, the position based on the I value. So to do that, I will just times it by I minus 1. So let me just explain it a bit to you. So for section section number 1. That will be the one at the corner. For section number 2, this will be this one, because I is equal to 1. For I equal to 1, we are going to be at this position. For I equal to 2, we are going to be at this position, but only one spacing. That's what I'm taking I minus 1. So only multiply spacing by 1. So if we are at I is equal to 3, so at this position, take I minus 2. So it will turn spacing by 1, 2, and then we are going to get the position of this rebar, section. So this is actually what he meant by I minus 1, and our y coordinates stay the same, so it doesn't vary. Now let's add. Now since we got that, so each time you finish in this if condition, it will come down here and we are going to add the cycle, and we declare our cycle object earlier. Let's just get that. It's our cycle object, so our cycle object set, and this we are going to get this same where are we? I will copy this, add cycle, and we need to add so this is only the cycle. Now we need to fill the cycle. I'll also have to, I'm going to the color property of that color property. I will set the color property to see red. I'm going to add this as the previous car red. Okay, and then let's now put set the fill the color. I'm going to use arch. I declare a variable to hold that arch for a. So set model space. I'm going to add arch this property arch pattern predefined. I already made a mistake on the spelling. Arch pattern with type predefined, and the name of the type of arch solid, and then true, which mean do we want to make it associative? Yes. So this true mean that do you want it associative or not associative. If you put false, it will be you will get a non-associative arch, predefined. Okay, so now let's pass our cycle to an array. I created the array earlier, did I? Yes, this array is going to hold our cycle. Let's complete the procedure. I'm going to use a with block, and with. Using the with block is to group all the function, the property, or assign the property of this field. What we need to do is to append the cycle. So we need to specify the boundary of the arch area, and to do that I'm going to assign our cycle append outer loop. So this is we need to set this property to my array, because it take only an array as argument. That's why I pass our cycle to an array, and then evaluate, and I will set the color same as the boundary. Our cycle is red, so let's make it also red and update it. Let's update it. Now we go. I hope everything is fine. There's no mistake in here. Let's just try this and see how far we go. Let's set our thing to my array, nothing, and set fill cycle equal to nothing also, to clear our memory after we run the program. Let's try our code and see how far we are, if we are on the good path. Oh, okay, let's see. Active. Oh yes, guys, I forgot to mention something to you. Before you use this, we need to allow the Excel application to access AutoCAD library from Excel, and to do that we need to go to tools. We go to tools and select preference, and the preference you need to select that you tick the box next to your AutoCAD version, before you can run this code. This will allow Excel to access all AutoCAD command from Excel. And this is why we had that error message earlier. Now that is fixed, let's run this code to see if everything is working. Here we are going to check the code. Yes, as you can see there we go, it's working perfectly. It's working perfectly for the bottom part, and we are going to check the top part now. Okay, the bottom part is done now. We will copy this, obviously it will be almost the same code with just a few changes. We will copy this code and paste it at the bottom for the top reinforcement. We'll copy and paste at the bottom and do some few adjustments so that it can work at, because it will be almost the same code, only some few minor twists, and then it will be fine for the top reinforcement. Now we must just do the little changes. We're now done with the change. Let's try and see. Let's just try quickly and see what we will get. I want to delete this first, and let's run our code and see if it works. There we go. Yeah, it's working. And we will do the same for the middle bar, but the middle bar will be different because we know that we only got 2 bars, so we don't don't need to loop. We are not going to loop. We only got I will copy this and will change the information according to what I want. The center. So now we need to repeat the same thing for the middle bars. To do that, maybe the middle bar case is a bit different because it only takes two rebars, so we only allow 2 rebars, one on each side of the beam, and to do so we don't need to loop, but we will add the cycle on the section on each side of the beam, and we fill it up with the arches. So this is what we're going to do, and we are going to copy the same code on top and change it to suit our need. The first bar section on the left will have the same x coordinate as the bottom bars, and then the other section will be on the right side of the beam. So we calculate the coordinates as like that way. Our code for the middle bar is done, and we need to put in the if functions to avoid some errors if the user doesn't provide the middle bar, the number of middle bars. So we'll have to put some if functions. Our code is ready now. Let's just try and see if everything is as planned. Here's all the information. We'll just make some few changes. We've made a few changes and test our code to see if everything is performing as per our plan. You just delete this. Just delete this and see, and just try our code. Okay, everything looks fine. Let's press it. Okay, you see, everything works fine. Everything works fine except the right middle bar. We just need to make some few adjustments, and everything will be perfect. So let's go and make the adjustment. We just need to include the width of the link, which is 5 mm as earlier. So that few adjustment will fix our problem, and everything should be perfect. Now it's done. Let's go and try our code now. Let's delete this and rerun our macro and see what we will get. There we go. Everything is perfect now. Everything is done as per our plan. Thank you guys for watching. and then you can download this VBA file, and you can use it, change the code as you wish. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more upcoming videos. Thank you, and see you in our next video.